Doom already won. The biggest leaked theory floating around right now says the villain wins before the movie even starts, and every hero you watch is already his prisoner. According to multiple scoopers, Avengers Doomsday ends with Doctor Doom standing as the sole survivor, taking the shattered wreckage of every destroyed universe and fusing it into a single patchwork world called Battleworld. The leak goes further. It claims Doom resurrects every hero and every villain with their memories wiped clean, then climbs onto the throne as an omnipotent God Emperor. By the time Secret Wars opens, the heroes are described as NPCs until their minds get unlocked, living false lives that Doom assigned them. If that sounds familiar, it should, because it mirrors the 2015 Jonathan Hickman comic where Doom literally becomes God Emperor of Battleworld, ruling a stitched-together planet built from dead realities. The leaked reports say Doom pulls this off using Loki's stolen power, tying the whole thing directly into the Loki series finale. They also describe his seat of power as a fortress that combines Doom's classic castle with the Citadel at the end of time. Here's why fans can't stop talking about it. In the comics, Doom rewrites reality so thoroughly that nobody remembers the old multiverse ever existed, which makes him a literal god. If this leak is real, Secret Wars doesn't start with a team assembling. It starts with a defeat that's already complete. That would make Doom the single most successful villain Marvel has ever put on screen, and that's exactly why this is the most discussed leak of the entire project. Stark behind the mask. Marvel reportedly refuses to explain why Doctor Doom has Tony Stark's face until this exact movie. Robert Downey Jr. was announced as Doctor Doom at San Diego Comic-Con in July of 2024, stepping in to replace Kang as the main villain of the whole saga. According to reports from outlets like Geek Tyrant, citing scoopers, Doomsday will not explain Doom's Stark-like face at all, deliberately saving that answer for Secret Wars. That silence has produced three leading fan theories. The first argues Doom is a Tony Stark variant who became Doom on his own world. The second says Doom stole Stark's face in a face-off style operation. The third suggests Doom is possessing the body of a Stark variant specifically to earn the trust of Earth's heroes. The Russo brothers have hinted that the resemblance is intentional and plot relevant, not just a piece of stunt casting. Screen Rant floated an even darker reading, where Doom wears Stark's face on purpose to manipulate the Earth heroes who still grieve Iron Man. This is the question every casual viewer has the moment they hear the casting, which makes it the perfect early hook. The mystery of why Iron Man's actor is now the villain is the emotional engine of the entire multiverse saga, and Marvel's deliberate refusal to answer it is, in its own way, the loudest clue of all. Loki becomes God. The god of mischief might end this whole saga as the new keeper of all time, finishing the job that He Who Remains couldn't. The Loki Season 2 finale ended with Loki seizing the timelines himself, sitting on a throne at the center of the World Tree, physically holding the branching realities together by hand. That image set him up as the new He Who Remains, the figure responsible for maintaining the structure of the entire multiverse. From there, fans built a theory that Loki's power is the exact thing Doom needs, or steals, to fuse Battleworld together, which would make Loki central to the story, even while imprisoned. The leaked reports give that idea some weight, since they specifically claim Doom uses Loki's stolen power to create his patchwork world. Tom Hiddleston's Loki is rumored to play a pivotal role, despite being written out of normal time at the end of his series. If the theory holds, his redemption arc finally completes. The villain who once schemed for a throne ends up sacrificing himself to hold reality together. What makes this one of the more grounded theories is that Loki's finale was explicitly built as a Secret Wars setup, which connects the most praised Disney Plus finale directly to this movie. Two Spider-Men return. Both of the Spider-Men you grew up with are rumored to swing back one last time, and the leaks say they won't be together. Insider, My Time to Shine Hello, reported that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield both return in Secret Wars, but stay separated for most of the film. The same scooper claimed that Garfield's Spider-Man finally gets to fight an alien, fulfilling the exact wish his character voiced back in No Way Home. That same insider also floated that Tom Holland's Spider-Man could be forced to square off against one or both of the legacy Spider-Men. Meanwhile, Insider Alex Perez reported that the Maguire and Garfield Spider-Man story ends for good after this movie. Garfield himself has only added fuel, giving an ambiguous answer to MTV, asking whether his own non-answer was a tell, and telling fans they will find out, all despite his earlier flat denials about other projects. The reunion in No Way Home was the highest emotion moment of the saga so far, and a battle world built from collapsing universes is exactly the premise that lets it happen one final time, which is why this rumor simply refuses to die. By the way, if you're enjoying this so far, I post videos like this all the time, and a quick subscribe would genuinely help the channel out. Thanks. Jean Grey, Resurrected. A veteran X-Men writer swears the original Phoenix is coming back, and the actress herself says he's wrong. X-Men comic writer Chris Claremont claimed on the Power of X-Men podcast that Famke Janssen will reprise Jean Grey alongside Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen. Janssen pushed back hard, telling Screen Rant that the comic book world has never really been her world, and adding that Marvel never even contacted her after Days of Future Past. Here is what makes it impossible to dismiss. Claremont's track record is good. He previously claimed Chris Evans would return, and Marvel later confirmed exactly that. The broader Fox X-Men cast is widely rumored to converge in Doomsday and Secret Wars before the eventual mutant recast. So the hook here is the contradiction itself. The writer says yes, the actress says no, and the man saying yes has been right before. The Children's Crusade. The whole movie may secretly be an adaptation of a comic about two teenagers hunting for their lost mother. Reports claim Secret Wars pulls heavily from Avengers, The Children's Crusade, the miniseries that ran from 2010 to 2011, written by Alan Heinberg and drawn by Jim Chung. That story centers on the young Avengers Wiccan and Speed, two boys who share the names, the looks, and the powers of Scarlet Witch's lost twin sons, Billy and Tommy. In the comic, the Avengers, the Young Avengers, and the X-Men all race each other to find the missing, reality-warping Scarlet Witch first. Magneto even shows up as the twins' grandfather, helping them track Wanda down. The theory connects this to leaked reports that Wanda is being held inside Doom's castle as a Nexus being, channeling chaos magic to keep Battleworld from falling apart. That detail matters because WandaVision already introduced Billy and Tommy in live action, planting the seeds for a Young Avengers payoff years in advance. If Doom genuinely needs Wanda's reality-anchoring power, it would explain why she stays central to the story even though Elizabeth Olsen has reportedly stepped away. And it is worth remembering that the comic ends with major Avengers deaths and a reality-altering finale, which is exactly the kind of weight a saga-ending film wants. What this theory really does is reframe Secret Wars as a family story buried inside a multiverse war, while the Wiccan and Speed setup quietly launches the next generation of heroes. That makes it a hinge between two entire sagas. Wanda's quiet return. Elizabeth Olsen keeps saying she is not in it, and insiders keep saying she is. Olsen has stated publicly that she will not return as Scarlet Witch, explaining that she will be back home in the United States filming a different project when cameras roll. But trusted insider Alex Perez reported that Scarlet Witch would not be recast, which strongly implies Olsen herself comes back. Insider Daniel Richtman went further, claiming Wanda's resurrection actually happens in Doomsday, and that she lands a solo project in the next saga. The reboot theory ties it together, suggesting Wanda survives the MCU reset specifically to anchor the mutant saga, where a House of M story would logically follow. The reason fans lean toward the insiders over the denial is simple. Marvel actors publicly waving off involvement and then showing up anyway is a very well-worn pattern at this point. Wolverine stays forever. Hugh Jackman may have come back not for one more fight, but to hand off the claws permanently. Reports claim that both Deadpool and Wolverine appear in Doomsday and Secret Wars. One rumor from Comic Book Movie suggests Jackman actually stays on as Wolverine in the MCU even after Secret Wars, rather than getting recast. An alternate version has him appear only in a smaller cameo, there to guide the post-reset era before a younger actor takes over the role. Jackman has stayed carefully guarded about all of it, saying maybe, and that he is never saying never ever again, while Ryan Reynolds offered only a non-committal "we will see." Given that Deadpool and Wolverine was a billion-dollar hit, whether Jackman's Logan survives the reset is a genuinely major continuity question for the next era of Marvel. The Stark body swap. One darker theory says Doom does not just look like Tony, he stole him. Building on that face mystery, the body swap version holds that Doom literally took a Tony Stark variant's body in order to operate among Earth's heroes. MovieWeb reported that the Russo brothers dropped hints fans have read as confirming some kind of variant or body-related explanation. The theory ties neatly into the leaked ending, because if Doom resurrects everyone on Battleworld, then controlling a Stark identity would let him quietly manipulate the resurrected Avengers who still trust Iron Man. Screen Rant's darker reading pushes this even harder, suggesting Doom weaponizes the hero's grief by wearing the face of their fallen leader. A competing version flips it, arguing Doom is a Stark variant whose own world's tragedy twisted him into the villain, making him a living mirror of who Tony Stark could have become. What this theory adds is emotional weight the casting would otherwise lack. It turns the villain into a dark reflection of the very hero who started the entire MCU, which is a far more interesting answer than a simple gimmick. 3 universes merge. The leaks say Battleworld gets built by smashing 3 separate movie universes into one planet. After a wave of incursions destroys the multiverse, Doom reportedly forges Battleworld from the remnants of every fallen reality. The reports get specific, naming the merger of Earth 616, the main MCU, with Earth 828, the home of the Fantastic Four, and Earth 10005, the world of the Fox X-Men films. That lines up with real evidence, since the Fantastic Four First Steps confirmed its team lives in a separate universe matching the 828 designation. It also fits the widely reported return of the Fox X-Men cast, including Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Alan Cumming, Rebecca Romaine, James Marsden, and Kelsey Grammer, all expected in Doomsday. On top of that, Kevin Feige described the post-Secret Wars MCU as a reset toward a singular timeline, while very carefully avoiding the word reboot. He confirmed the X-Men is where that fresh start happens next, with Jake Schreier directing the recast film. The merge mechanic itself mirrors the comics directly, where Doom's Battleworld is a patchwork of separate domains drawn from different realities. This is the moment fans have wanted for 25 years. The legal and continuity walls that kept Marvel's film franchises apart finally come down, not in a press release, but inside the actual story. It is the structural payoff of the entire multiverse experiment. NPC Heroes Awaken. Your favorite heroes might spend the entire first act of this movie not even knowing they're heroes. The leaked ending claims Doom resurrects everyone with their memories wiped, then assigns them false lives across Battleworld. So when Secret Wars opens, the heroes are reportedly NPCs until their minds get unlocked. That directly adapts the comics, where Doom's Battleworld citizens live inside fabricated roles, completely unaware that the old multiverse ever existed. The theory predicts that the plot of the film is the heroes slowly remembering who they really are and breaking Doom's control one by one. It also solves a very real problem, because it would explain how a cast spanning multiple franchises and several decades gets reintroduced without endless backstory. They all simply start as blank slates. Plot leak reports even mention a possible time jump, which fits perfectly with characters living settled, false lives for a while before they finally wake up. As a way to juggle dozens of returning actors, making them amnesiac NPCs is a genuinely elegant and comics-faithful answer. Franklin reboots reality. The being who rebuilds the entire universe at the end of all this might be a child. The Fantastic Four First Steps confirmed Sue Storm's pregnancy, which introduces Franklin Richards to the MCU. In the comics, after the events of Secret Wars, Franklin uses his reality-warping power to rebuild the multiverse and kick off a brand new continuity. The theory holds that Franklin, not Doom, is the one who actually reboots the MCU into Feige's promised singular timeline. His comic power lets him create entire universes at will, even as a small child. There is an even deeper cut here, because in the comic storyline Earth X, Franklin eventually becomes Galactus, a detail that fuels theories about just how high his ceiling really goes. A Franklin reboot would let Marvel merge realities, revive dead characters, and recast the X-Men, all without a hard restart from zero. What makes this theory satisfying is that it names the exact in-story mechanism for the reset everyone already knows is coming, and in doing so, it elevates a baby into the most powerful being in the franchise's future: the singular timeline. The last theory is the one Marvel has all but confirmed, that when the dust finally settles, the messy multiverse is gone for good. Kevin Feige described the post-Secret Wars MCU as a reset toward a singular timeline, explicitly steering away from the word reboot. He confirmed the X-Men film is where the new era begins, with Jake Schreier directing. The theory holds that Secret Wars deliberately collapses the confusing multiverse so that every future film can be simpler and more self-contained. That would end the variant overload of the entire multiverse saga and let Marvel recast freely going forward. Fans read it as Marvel quietly admitting the multiverse experiment has run its course. This is the theory with the most official backing, and the biggest stakes of them all, because it isn't about one character's fate, it's about the shape of every Marvel movie that comes after. If you found this worth your time, consider subscribing so you keep up with all the future uploads. Thanks for watching.